Hi, everybody. It's Ryan from Pi Records, and I'm here with the great guys from the Screaming Seagulls. How are you?
Awesome.
Great, man. Yeah.
I was listening to your music today, and previously I've listened to it. I was suggesting I reach out to you guys, and when I listened to the music, I thought, well, that was a good reason to talk to you guys. So why don't we start off by introducing yourselves and what instruments you play?
I'm Bobby, play guitar.
I'm Rory, I play the bass guitar.
I'm Paul, and I play the drums.
Awesome. So I love the name the Screaming Seagulls. How did you guys all get together, and when did it all start?
We're all kind of playing in different bands, and just sort of had a jam one day. Like, wasn't anything arranged specifically, but just had a jam, played some surf, and decided it was something we should keep doing. Pretty much.
I think you two guys played a little bit first. I think you had a few ideas, and then I sort of came a little later on.
Well, as I recall it, as Bobby says, we were just going to have a jam just to kind of get the use out of the room that we were renting. So we just decided to have a jam on something a bit different, what sort of old surf covers that we knew. We got together, played a few of those, and just decided to keep rolling with it.
Now I noticed. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's all right. I'll carry on.
Oh, I noticed your shirt. I love it, and I want to know how much the Dead Kennedys influenced your sound.
I don't know that that's such a great influence, especially on this particular combo. But punk rock was basically how I got into playing bands. Playing music in bands was that I like, the attitude of punk rock. Dead Kennedys, to be totally straight with you, man, it was one of the only clean T-shirts that I had. So I wasn't,
I love Dead Kennedys, the guitar player.
Oh yeah, for sure, yeah.
So
you
released your last album during the pandemic.
Yeah, well, during a break between lockdowns, we got in, recorded it just live on a 4-track cassette player, and it's just to keep the ball rolling, really. Otherwise, we probably still wouldn't have been able to record yet. So we're totally unrehearsed, and it's far from any perfect takes, but just got it done and got it out just to keep rolling, really.
That's surprising because it sounds really good.
That's thanks to a friend who produced it more than us playing, I think.
Yeah, well, this is it. I mean, it's like there was a gap between sort of the first part of COVID and a bit of freedom towards the end of the year, where we just sort of used that time to get in and do it. And the only resources we had available were a cassette 4-track, a rehearsal room, and our instruments. And we had a few new tracks, so we were just like, let's rattle it out. The guy, a good friend of mine, who's actually a professional producer, and he's sort of friends with Rory as well. And he just sort of said, "Yeah, just give me the cassette, and I'll just like polish it up for you, and make it a bit more audible and get it formatted and stuff." And it's so we're probably all up to him in terms of the sound quality. The performance, I guess, those are definitely all on us. So if there's any rough edges, that's we're surely us that's allowed that to happen.
I totally would not have guessed that was done on a 4-track analog. It sounds amazing, really clean.
No, that's awesome. Thanks for saying that.
Yeah,
we're hoping to get a better recording next time out, though.
Yeah, it's a best thing about it for me. It was far from the best we could do, but put it out anyways. And when we record the album later in the year, it should be a lot better.
Yeah, yeah,
If anyone enjoyed that, they should have definitely enjoyed the album.
for sure. Yeah.
So I just want to ask, where did the name Screaming Seagulls come from?
I'll leave that one for Bobby.
Yeah, he came up with that.
From an actual Screaming Seagull. I was in another band at the time and hated the name, trying to come up with better names. Came up with that name, but it didn't fit the band at all. Thought it would be great for like a surf punk type of band. So had the name kind of on the back burner, and when we ended up having that jam, it was like, we should do the Screaming Seagulls thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome. So tell me a little bit about the music you've done in the past.
All right. Well, me and Bobby used to play in a sort of garage blues band, I guess, sort of go back a while, sort of 10, maybe 12. Bobby was pretty young then. He was still probably a teenager, but he used to be a bass player. And it was just like ramshackle sort of garage blues, sort of, some of it not a million miles away from the Cramps, I guess. A lot of psych influences there, a lot of like sort of 60s, late 60s blues, psych stuff in there. So that's how we met. And then I think I just went off and did other things in other bands for a while. Bobby carried on playing in other bands with guitars and stuff like that as well. And then just sort of reconnected again. I mean, we've always been in touch, but it's the first time we've done music together again for a while. But we played before. Rory is the first time I've played with him, but yeah, he's got a completely different, colourful background than Rory in regard to it.
Well, yeah, I guess mine goes back a bit further. So yeah, playing similar kind of sort of thing, bluesy, psychedelic rock. And I remember when Bobby was just 16, he used to come and hang out at our practice room. So yeah, I mean, there's a crossover. There was a band Bobby was in playing bass, and he left that band, and I got asked to join in his place. So we did almost cross paths there, but we all sort of knew each other from it's Newcastle, you know. So a lot of the bands know each other, friendships and stuff like that. That's, you know, and I've known the guys for a long time, but this is the first time that we all got together to play music together, and it just felt dead easy and right, you know. It didn't, you know.
Plus, Newcastle's a pretty small scene because it's probably the last major city north in England before you get to Scotland, but it's quite far away from the next major city south. So it's a bit sort of on its own, like in regard, even bands looking to get signed or get exposure or something. It's like there's a lot more activity in places like Manchester and Liverpool and Leeds, even the Midlands, Birmingham, Bristol, London, and then we're just completely out the way. So it's sort of like everyone sort of does know each other, like one way or another through different bands and going out and watch bands because there's not so much stuff going on. Well, there wasn't at that time, at least anyway, sort of 10, 15, 20 years ago, I guess, really there wasn't like, but yeah, we get a bit more action up here now. There's some good bands and some good stuff coming out of Newcastle. So it's pretty good.
What about you, Bobby? What do you what kind of bands did you play in before that may have influenced the stuff you're doing now?
Mainly sort of garage bands. Like played in a band called the Oscar Rileys years ago with as a bass player with Paul, and sort of like psychedelic garage, very 60s type stuff. So a couple of bands were like more sort of lo-fi, raggedy type of garage stuff, like inspired by sort of more the Mummies type of DIY type of thing.
Ah.
Yeah.
Very
But then I think
cool.
you sort of discovered the 50s ballad, didn't you? And then I think that's when you sort of guitar playing style almost sort of took a bit of a left turn, I guess, wasn't it? More rather than traditional blues style playing, you sort of got more into the real surfy vibe and the rockabilly and sort of style as well, a bit, wasn't it?
Yeah, a lot of rockabilly and psychobilly and definitely surf. And even like years ago when I first started playing those styles, we'd all spoke about having a jam and playing some surf, but
Yeah.
never. However many years.
Yeah.
So when's the last time all of you got together?
Last night.
Oh,
Last
great.
night.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, I think really we've got an album's worth of material, I think, just about ready. We're doing a show in about 4 weeks' time, and then hopefully start thinking about recording and getting a first proper release out. Really, I think that's probably more or less the agenda, isn't it?
Are
Pretty much.
Are you looking at a specific label, or are you going to do it yourself?
I haven't thought that far ahead, really.
Nah, I mean we're pretty fledgling, really, Ryan. It's like that EP, that the Beyond the Glow EP was sort of cobbled together by a band who hadn't been together for very long. So we're pretty new, really. We've not thought that far ahead, but I know that we've got enough good material to put a decent record out. And then if someone hears it and wants to put it out for us, then we'll say yes, thank you very much. I think,
That's awesome. I heard of you on Bandcamp. Is that where a lot of people can find your stuff?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
Do you guys have social media, and do you have a website?
Just Facebook and Bandcamp, SoundCloud.
Okay. You said you have some gigs coming up. Where are you playing?
Playing locally with another local surf band called the Milk Lizards. And
by the way, are pretty good as well. Should check them out, the Milk Lizards.
Yeah, if you haven't checked them out already, check the Milk Lizards out. Social as well.
In the UK, what's the situation? Will you be able to get out and play around in a bigger way, in a bigger audience, more cities?
Hopefully, yeah.
Hopefully soon. All the main restrictions for COVID have dropped today. But
today?
Yeah, it's like officially like Freedom Day in the UK today, Ryan. So like it's like the last stage of getting out of lockdown type of thing.
We'll play that by ear and see how that goes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Same
like people went
us.
night clubbing for the first time last night, which was like bizarre, I guess.
Yeah, I'm just waiting to see if this gig next month even goes ahead. Everything could be locked again before that.
Yeah, at the moment, Ryan, it's like seated gigs, so socially distant, so everyone sort of sat down at tables with table service watching the show, which I guess is better than nothing. But in 4 weeks' time, I don't know. Hopefully, we'll be able to have more bodies in there, and I suppose that's safety first, though, and everything,
Yeah. So you have the new songs. When do you plan on recording them, and where?
I'll let you take that one, probably.
Before the end of the year, I want to get them recorded.
Yeah.
Just depends how soon we'll get them really finished. We're hoping to play all of them, or at least most of them, at this next show, but that'll probably be the testing grounds for most of the material. See how close we are to being able to record it.
Awesome.
Yeah, because I think if you're a musician yourself, Ryan, you'll probably agree. Soon after, like a good run of gigs or shows, it's normally maybe a good time to record because the band are generally playing pretty well.
Yeah.
So maybe hopefully sooner after the next show or whatever, then it depends on the resources as well. You know, the guy who recorded our album, I think, is going to be a bit more hands-on because he just mixed the first record, but I'd really like to have him engineering next time round because he's real talented guy. You know, he can do everything from helping with the recording process in the studio, the environment, to mixing it, to just basically till it's ready. You know, so I'd preferably like to have the same guy on board. It's just a case of getting a good place to record, hopefully. So we'll see what's available in the next couple of months, I guess.
Does he have his own studio, or does he kind of move around?
Both. He's sort of he can record. He does a lot of mixing at home. I don't think he has his own studio, but he has a studio with a lot of resources available to him, most of which are in London. So I don't know how convenient it would be for us to travel all the way down there. But if it's something that's a possibility, it's I suppose we could look at that. But there's a few places we might be able to get to record up here, hopefully. So we'll play that one by ear, I think.
Can you say the name of the guy? Are you allowed to talk about him?
I think so. I don't know. Am I wrong? Is he?
Okay, so he put his name on the EP, didn't he?
He did put his name on the EP, actually.
Yeah, so it's out there anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, the guy's called Dan Blackett.
Awesome.
Called Dan Blackett, right? He does all sorts of projects, though. He does commercial stuff for labels and stuff. He'll do work for small independent artists and stuff. So yeah. I don't know if he's actually worked specifically for a label. I think he does mainly freelance work, but super talented guy. I used to play music with him when we were at school as well, so I know how great of a musical mind he's got. So, and I think that helps, having someone who's a musician on board with the recording and mixing process rather than someone who's just a producer, just for the idea of understanding the fundamentals of how music's supposed to sound, as opposed to how to just produce it and mix it and master it and put it out. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah.
So other than the gig and the new songs to be recorded, what are your plans coming up?
Just hopefully get playing some more shows once everything calms down, gets a bit more normal.
Because it was kind of like we literally just got started. We did a couple of gigs. We just got set together. Started as initially when we started, it was like 90% covers. So we just started to get our own things together, and then boom, it was lockdown. We couldn't go into practice room. All gigs were cancelled, and it was like, oh no. Well, we managed to keep the kettle boiling. We got that EP out, and it's just a case of when some kind of normality comes back to the world, we're ready to take it on. Whatever comes our way.
Very cool.
That's kind of where we're at.
I'm glad you guys stuck together and put something out.
So are we.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, is there anything you want to talk about or mention before we sign off that I might have left out?
Not that I can think of.
No, not that I can think of. Apart from, I heard, Ryan, that you're a big Frank Black fan.
What?
Frank Black fan. Frank Black.
Black Francis.
Oh.
Black Francis.
Oh, where did you hear that from?
I don't know. I heard it from someone.
He's been stalking.
Might be Bobby. And I wanted to commend you on that because I'm a huge Black Francis fan also. So yeah.
I got to see him do a solo show in Philadelphia.
Really?
I think it was with the Catholics.
Right. Sure.
Yeah. But I love the Pixies, and his particular style of playing guitar is just brilliant, I think.
Very underrated.
Oh,
Very
yeah.
underrated guy. Yeah, because he gets loaded for his songwriting and his lyrics, but I think he's probably overlooked as a guitarist, really.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say so?
Oh yeah. Yeah. And a lot of my playing is inspired by his.
Yeah.
I play a lot of punk rock, but the chords I use, I kind of just rip right off of him.
Great place. A good source of influence, I would say. Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, some of his structures are just ridiculous though as well, because they sound like traditional pop songs, but they've just got so many little nuances and twists and turns that you have to really listen into it, and you're sort of like, wow, that's like, yeah, incredible.
Sometimes you're bobbing your head and then all of a sudden he takes a left turn.
Left turn, yeah. 100%, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm constantly finding new stuff by him as well, so that's pretty good. Yeah.
He there's an album called Frankless from I'm sorry. I think it's Francis Impaley or something like that.
Right.
He did like a double album with him. That was pretty good. But he likes classic rock a lot too, so he's playing a lot more of that.
Sure, yeah, I'll have to look that up. Yeah. It's a lot of material there, a lot of good variety as well in his solo work as well.
I love
consider some of the early stuff probably would have been Pixies songs as well, wouldn't they? The first couple of albums. So
yeah, I really like the Teenager of the Year.
Fantastic album, great. It's got some really good material. His very first one is good as well. His very first record, it's called Frank Black. Yeah, that's awesome. Got some really good stuff on.
Especially that song, Every Time I Go Around Here.
Yeah. Parry the Wind.
Yeah. Love it.
Fantastic.
And it's not the first time I talked about Frank Black with another group. I'm really I'm obsessed with his playing.
That's good. That's good. Someone should be, because it's exceptional. So yeah, long may it continue.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank you guys so much for lending me your time. I know it's kind of late in the evening there, so I appreciate you getting together and working out your schedules to be on the show.
No problem. Thanks for having us. It's been great speaking to you, man.
Total pleasure.
All right, guys.
Okay.
I'm gonna let you.
Man.
I'm gonna let you go.
Send the links. Man. Do you want to send the links for your radio show as well to Bobby, Ryan? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, if you could do, that'd be cool.
Awesome.
Right.
You guys have a great night.
Yeah, you too.
Cheers, man.
Have a good day, man.
See you later, guys.